she did a presentation, and her presentation was all about connection. So during her presentation, one of the things that she talked about was my search for a living liver donor. So she had won the MOP Throwdown, and we got to meet a bunch of the women, from different places. And at the end, we had like a chat group going. So I have a rare liver disease, and I've had it for a long time, probably 2003-ish. It's a progressive disease, there's no treatment, no cure, and I knew that eventually I would need a transplant. So we're at that time now where I'm listed for a transplant. So during conference, when she shared my story, Shauna also volunteered to make me business cards.
So have some here.
Yes. So on the business cards, I have, she designed it, she showed it to me. I just had to say yay or nay, and she even ordered it for me, and I just e-transferred her the cash. So it just says that I'm looking for a liver donor, and on the back, she did the QR code. She created a Linktree account for me, and it has a link to my Facebook group, which her and Jackie are managing for me, because it's a lot. I have my own Facebook group and my own Instagram, and I have other various links on there, including how to donate your liver if you want to donate a piece of your liver, which grows back, by the way. You wouldn't be left without one. And I met Shauna through Norwex a few years ago. So it went from just a friend or somebody, and I just found her online. I didn't know who she was, I just needed a Norwex rep. I joined her team, and then, she lived actually quite close, and then as we got to know each other more and more, we ended up sharing different stories and things, and this was part of mine. So she volunteered to do all these things for me, and then I met Jackie. Jackie jumped in and said, yep, I'm gonna help, and without the support, and so these cards were handed out at the conference. So we printed 500 cards, and between the conference and Melissa also volunteered to put some in some of her like bags or envelopes that are going out to customers. So between all of that, I went from having no donors, I had none. I had been listed for, I don't know, like 5 or 6 months. I had no donors. And I went from that to having a whole group of women saying that they would apply. So it got to the point where I had, the only person that I had applying at the time was somebody who was not a blood match. So the way that works is if you're not a blood match, that means that they also have to find another pair where we can basically swap donors, and that would be the only way that I was gonna get a liver. And now we're at a point where we've had a few people go through the process. So there's about a 20% chance if you start the evaluation process that you'll actually make it to a surgery date. So I've had a few people go through and didn't make it. They're on somebody else now, I'm not sure, they don't tell me much. I just know that someone's going through. But we're at a point now where the liver team feels that we have enough donors that they now have told the person who is not a blood match that they're not going to qualify now, because they have enough people that they can find somebody who is my blood match, and it will be a lot easier. So and that just shows like I didn't know almost anyone. And when they started the group, we didn't plan on starting a group, a Facebook group. The plan was just to hand out cards and get people to share the story to see if anybody would apply. And Shauna and Jackie were like, we need to start a group. So they started a group, and overnight, we had over 200 people join overnight. And it's kind of kept growing since then. and they've had different people retweet or repost. They've been on Instagram. If you guys know Birds Papaya, she shared my story. So it's been incredible, and I've never belonged to a group of women or been a part of a company that does anything remotely close to this. So, you know, Norwex isn't just a company, they're literally a family. And like, yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than I feel so fortunate to be a part of this group. And for so many reasons.